Hello YouTube. So today I am doing Betty White's birth chart, and if you have never been to my channel before or watched my astrology, I study sidereal Vedic astrology, which is a little bit different than Western astrology. But I decided today I wanted to do Betty White because Betty White just recently has passed, and I only do people that have passed. I decided to do her chart. So let's get started. Betty White was born January 17th, 1922. That means she was almost 100 years old. But she was born at 6:38 p.m. and she was born in Oak Park, Illinois. So for her, she was a rising sign of a Cancer, and it was at 26 degrees, which was in Ashleisha. Now, the rising sign is really what people perceive you as, and it is who you are. So first off, Ashleisha is nurturing, they're caring, they're loving. They might be into a nursing or nurturing others, okay? But they are people that have a really hard shell, just like a crab, like Cancer. But once you knock that wall down, that shell down, they are ooey gooey and emotional on the inside. But once you do that, they cling on. The symbol for Ashleisha is an underground serpent like a snake. And they cling on to their prey, you know, right before they eat them. Now, these people can be... they have venom, and venom can be used for medicine to heal, and it can be used for poison. So either way, these people can go either way. But they are healing people as well, and they also have this magic with their eyes where they can look at people and people will do the things that they want them to because their eyes are hypnotic. They can have, like, put a spell on people, okay? So that's what they say. Anyway, so that is her rising sign. She does have Neptune setting in her first house, which kind of, I'm not really good with the outer planets, but Neptune is a spiritual planet, and so she probably was a little spiritual as well. Let's go to her second house. Her second house is a Leo, and she has no planets there, but that's the way her family looks at her, is like Leo energy, kind of funny, outgoing, maybe a little egotistical, but very funny, and people, they probably looked up to her. Then we go to her third house. Her third house is full of all kinds of energy. So she has Moon setting in her third house, Saturn, Rahu, and Jupiter. So let's get to this. Moon is the way you think and the way you feel. So the moon is setting at 5 degrees in Virgo, which is Atara Falguni. Atara Falguni is, they are loyal people. They also are a little bit royal, just because that Atara Falguni kind of sets in Leo and Virgo. So it kind of gives that a little bit of a Leo energy to that. Also, these people are popular people. People like them. They're funny. They also are known sometimes to have a bad reputation. But these people love family. They love being around family. And they are happy people, and they treat people with respect. They expect others to treat them the same way. Now, with Moon, this also represents the mother. It's setting in Virgo. So Virgo is kind of like very analytical. And so I feel that she felt her mother was very analytical towards her. Like, she never could do the right thing. But she was maybe really a clean person, a little bit OCD, but that's the way she felt about her mother. Now, Moon setting in third house represents they love to travel. These people, they love to travel, okay? But it also is, third house is creativity, it's communication. They probably love talking, but also it is just that, it also is your siblings. Most of the time it's your younger siblings, but I feel like she had a lot of siblings, maybe. I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up later. But let's go to the next planet, which is Saturn. Saturn sitting there would be restrictions. It is in retrograde, so Saturn being so close to the moon would represent stern rules. But it is in retrograde, and most times when I see retrograde Saturn setting by the moon, it kind of is an indication to me that the mother kind of just let them get by with things, kind of like they weren't so stern. They were stern, but they kind of just let it slide on by. But Saturn is where we learn lessons. It's about restriction. It gives us restriction. It teaches us when we haven't done something right, it'll make you do it again until you get it right. Okay, so she might have felt a little restriction in that area as well. And then she has Rahu. Rahu is your karma planet. Karma planet meaning that karma, you're supposed to balance your Rahu and your Ketu out, and they're always directly across from each other. So she had that Rahu there, which is also expansion, but a little bit of confusion as well, because it's like a dark cloud, and he is about expansion, but he can make a little bit of things difficult, which she had. This is the house of communication, and Rahu is kind of like it would kind of be the television, and we know she was a very big star from her early childhood. Her childhood, early on in her life till the day she passed away. So we do know that. But her Rahu sits in Hasta, and Hasta is a healer as well. They're good with their hands. They can build. They're very creative. They're very intelligent, and they're good with communication and skill. And so she had that there, okay? But this would also, it's kind of like the moon. It is the north node of the moon, so it does make you feel like you want to be very organized because it sets in Virgo, but then yet she sometimes isn't so organized. She wants to be, okay? But then also she has Jupiter sitting there, and Jupiter is expansion as well. So this would expand that third house a lot. So she would have Rahu and Jupiter, but that would create her being very wise, very intelligent, but also this is another, he's like the guru. Jupiter's the guru, where you kind of learn in life, spiritual learning, but learning and expansion. So that would be that the people around her, I'm guessing like her later in life, the men that she was with were probably very Virgo type, maybe a little bit nitpicky, and then she probably never felt like they could ever, she couldn't do anything better for them, like they were never happy. But this is just a guess by reading her chart. So she had Jupiter there, and so her childhood schooling is also probably very expanded as well, like she did really good. Now, where Jupiter sets, you can also teach as well, so she could have taught something about Virgo or the third house energies, okay? Then we'll move to the fourth house. The fourth house represents home life, and then she has Mars there. So Mars would create this, when she had a home, she probably worked really hard to buy that home, but once she got there, she got it. But also this is about a warrior. They are warriors, okay? Mars, she probably was a warrior at home. Maybe she had a lot of disagreements at home and fought at home as well, but she was a warrior, okay? So let's go to her fifth house. Her fifth house has no planets, but it is ruled by Scorpio, which is Mars as well, but it is about your family, like your children and your husband or your spouse, and this would create her to be very protective over her house and also her home life as well. So she was very protective over them. Nobody messed with them. And then we have the sixth house, and this is very interesting because she has Venus there. Venus is love. Venus is where you feel the most comfort in life. And so for her, sixth house represents everyday duties that you may do, like get up, go to work, whatever. She probably felt good at doing that. That probably gave her a peace of mind. And then also it is about small animals, which would be cats, dogs, whatever. And that is also it is setting in Sagittarius. And Sagittarius, they're all about helping others. And so she has Venus setting in that house. So she was really into animals. She liked to help them. She was all about helping people adopt and all about that. Now, let's go to her seventh house, which is ruled by Capricorn, and that would be Saturn that it is ruled by. So as a Cancer rising people, they kind of feel a little trapped once they get into a relationship. It's like they feel just kind of like a restriction around their relationships. And so she kind of probably felt that. But she has the sun that sets there, which is her soul and her father, and also Mercury. So maybe her and her father communicated well, but he probably was really stern as well and had his ways, which I'm sure he was. But then the sun is setting in Uttara Ashada, and that is about, these people are very truthful. They want to know the truth, and they tell the truth. They're truthful people. So her father was probably very truthful. He might have been a little bit egotistical at times too, but he was a hard worker. And he probably was all about, sometimes there are people that can't see the other side. They only see black and white. They never see gray, okay? But this also is how her soul was, okay? It was what people didn't see that was really inside of her, is that energy of Capricorn, which also Capricorn is about organizing. They like to plan stuff. They like to be on time. So that also was who she was. Now Mercury sits there, and Mercury is communication. And so in her relationships, she really felt like she could probably talk in her relationships. Now let's go to the eighth house. Eighth house has Uranus setting in it. Uranus is an outer planet, and it is also kind of unique, is what I say. Unique, but it is a planet that is spiritual too, as well. But the eighth house is about that mystical intuition, ghost, that other side, okay? And she has that Uranus setting there. So she probably did believe in like tarot card readings, maybe witchcraft. I don't know. I'm just making up stuff. Maybe she didn't believe in witchcraft, but she did believe in that. She had that eighth house energy there, okay? And then her eighth house is she has, or her ninth house has K2 setting there, which is the other karma planet. So K2 represents your past life. So it is setting in Revati, which is in Pisces. So this energy between Virgo and Pisces is the energy that she would have to learn how to balance out in this life. But K2 is kind of like, it's supposed to be separation. So this could be like she might have tried to find her true belief, what she believed in God or Buddha or whatever, and she might have tried to balance that out through her life. But also she was having to learn how to be analytical, or that fun person, somebody that's very particular and thinks a lot. Between that and being fun. Also, this can be, Pisces is kind of like an alcoholic. They can be. They like to drink. It doesn't mean they have to be an alcoholic, but they do like to drink. And she did say something about loving her vodka.
You're smart about that. What do you like to do in your free time? Oh, I like to do most anything, play with animals mostly, and vodka's kind of a hobby. And
But at the same time, Revati is also a person that is into the humanity. They want to save the planet. They also like to volunteer. They like to help animals and rescue. But they do stand up for what they believe in, and they do love to go overseas and travel overseas. And they are also organized as well. So that is her K2. That is her past life. Was part of her karma in this life. And we all know that she did do the animal taking care of, rescuing. And she did fulfill that in her life. Then her 10th house is Aries, but she has her midheaven, her MC, but that is where she was learning as well, and that would be her career. So her career brought her a long way, and that's how people looked at her as well, was through her career, which we all know her from TV. She is famous for that. Also, back to Revati. Revati is also brings wealth as well. But now the 10th house was her MC, and her 11th house, she had no planets in it, but it was ruled by Taurus. This is wishes, wishes, hopes, other people's money. It is wealth, okay? But it is ruled by Taurus, and Taurus is very, they like the finer things in life. That is the nice stuff. And it's ruled by Venus, and that is money. So that would be that she probably lived a little bit of a lavish life. And then in her 12th house would be Pluto. Pluto is control. It is ups and down, like quick change in life. And that would be her 12th house. 12th house. And 12th house is about things that you lose, solitude, but it is setting in Ardra, and Ardra is about a deep storm, like they are very sad, depressed. So the 12th house is representation of hospitals, mental hospitals, jail, or whatever. I'm not saying she went to any of those. I'm not quite sure. I've never heard that she's been in a mental hospital. But she does have that 12th house energy as well, meaning all the water signs, if you have planets in any of those signs in the water, then that gives you that psychic ability or that intuition. And so she was a Cancer rising, and her 8th house, that was also a psychic energy, and then her 12th house, which is psychic energy as well. So she has a lot of water in her chart. So she probably was psychic herself, or had a little bit of intuition that told her, she listened to that probably. She probably learned that in her life. So that was a short breakdown of Betty White's her birth chart through sidereal astrology. If you liked this video, please go watch the other ones that I have made, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. I hope to see you next time with the next video I make. So I will see you later. Deuces.